Hello my friends, Takuya here and welcome back to another Hearts of Iron 4 video. Did you miss me? Alright, yeah, I know we are going to be trying to do a lot more things as we go on here in the future, my friends, and I do apologize for how long it has been between each one of my videos, but I have some plans, as you may have heard in my previous video. Yes, we are going to be doing alternate history scenarios, different points, more things that explore Japan, China, the Philippines, all the varying different warlords, etc., and their individual stories. Of course, but what about exploits? What about breaking the game? That is something that I personally love, and with the release of the latest DLC, so many more things are broken. Canada, my old war crime buddy. It's been too long. For anyone who has not seen any of the previous videos that we've done with Canada, they have a couple options that are pretty fun to do, but there's only a certain number of things that Canada really gets that are incredibly broken. But when I say that, I mean they are truly incredibly broken, especially in the context of multiplayer. For those of you who are not familiar with what it is that I'm referring to, please take note of the Canadian focus tree, which is pretty decent overall. It honestly has received not really all that much love since it was updated years ago at this point, but there have been a couple changes, and one of those things that is very useful, though it was not necessarily a recent change, is Canada's ability to completely dominate the mech market. Yes, Japan would be very jealous right now. Reduce the ahead of time penalty by 2 years and give a 200% research bonus valid for next 1 researches of these technologies. Truck. Well, we've done this here before, haven't we? Yes. But why is it even more broken now? Well, allow me to show you. But my friends, before as we continue with today's video, I would like to thank today's sponsor, Outskill. Yes, my friends, AI was one of the most in-demand skills of 2025, according to the World Economic Forum. Yet the majority of us didn't even bother learning it or mocked it, which didn't really change anything, by the way, just need to mention that now. And that, unfortunately, puts us at risk, not just of falling behind, but of outright being replaced. Like it or not, that is reality, and we have to deal with it no matter what angry comments you put down in the comment section. To that end, that is where Outskill, the world's first AI-focused educational platform, comes in, with a 2-day live AI mastermind training program. This is all happening this Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Time on both days. And the timing here is absolutely perfect because they have their year-end holiday offer going on, so you can get in absolutely for free instead of the usual almost $400. This 16-hour live experience by them has been attended by more than 10 million worldwide professionals like you across different fields: marketing, finance, engineering, and more, all mentored directly by AI experts from companies like Microsoft and NVIDIA. This training that we're talking about here is not just about learning tools, it's about changing the way that you work, allowing you to learn how to use AI to simplify your daily task, build AI agents that plan, create, and automate your workflows, designate AI automations that can connect tools like Sheets, Notion, CRMs to save hours, and oh, so much more. Not only will you get this, but you'll receive bonuses worth about $5,000, including a prompt Bible, a roadmap to monetize AI, and a personalized AI toolkit builder that is only given if you attend both days. It genuinely is quite fascinating, and so my friends, this Christmas, go and gift this opportunity to someone who you think could benefit from learning AI, as it really could actually change their career in 2026 as the world itself is rapidly changing. Seats are limited. Grab yours now via the link that is down in the description. With that, my friends, thank you for watching, and now back to the show. To begin here, my friends, one needs to understand that the Canadian economy is, although technically speaking decent in the beginning, it suffers from a series of horrible effects, namely the Great Depression and other such things as the conscription crisis, which reduces your manpower, meaning Canada at no point in its time is actually going to be able to field a large army. And while it is that it does have a decent overall industry, able to produce, 5 different military factories from the very get-go, that still doesn't necessarily make it viable for any major large conquests. But you can specialize. And understanding that Canada is not necessarily going to get access to much industry until war actually breaks out, you can do certain things in order to be able to prepare yourself. Like, from the very get-go, we're going to get our research underway here right now, with the opening things, of course, being electronic mechanical engineering, and our basic production out of the way. Civilian factory-wise, we are going to need to go ahead and build up our infrastructure in order to max things out, and we kind of want to max out whatever we're going to be getting with steel so that we don't have to buy as much. So, first off, Northern Ontario, we're going to boost you up, and we're going to throw a military factory into that. We want to produce as much equipment as we possibly can, at least until it is that we can actually get an industry underway. Then, military factory-wise, we are going to go ahead and throw something into infantry equipment. We're going to need support equipment. And we are going to need artillery, with actually the last part in here also going to infantry equipment. We're going to need a lot of that. Take our entire army, overall 13 divisions, but lacking any kind of real equipment whatsoever, throw that into one force, and we're going to go ahead and start training them. We need to build up as much army experience as rapidly as possible, and from that, build up mastery within our officer corps. As for our remaining dockyard, well, we technically could throw it into like convoys or something else, but I don't want to waste the steel, so we're not going to bother with that whatsoever. Instead, we're going to look at our focus tree, and the first things that we're going to be doing are the Royal Serial Commission in order to be able to get 120 political power, crown corporations, and then the Natural Housing Act, or National Housing Act, so that we can give ourselves a civilian factory as well as more stability and construction speed. With that, the opening stages are set and we can start to prepare things. Oh yeah, I forgot. The new thing that was introduced in the latest DLC is that we can add a new faction goal, which is overall nice. We are a part of the Allies, we can kind of affect things. So short term, we want to do something simple in order to be able to boost our overall faction rankings. So institute a joint command structure. That way we're just adding divisions. It's a very simple thing. Our allies are going to fulfill that. It's not going to be a problem. With the Royal Serial Commission, that means that we are going to be able to do one thing from the beginning, get a Chief of Army, in which we're going to get the Army Offense Expert. We want ticking Army experience as rapidly as possible from the get-go so that we can start building up a large surplus of it. Army experience isn't necessarily as valuable for most nations in this game like it was in previous patches, but that's because the way that things now occur with Mastery kind of remove a lot of that importance. Still, we are going to be using lots of army experience, and this is very important to be able to build up as large of a surplus as we can. Along with that, we will take our remaining 100 political power that we have here, and we will go ahead and give refuge to German scientists, and then afterwards Italian scientists. Each one of these things will increase our overall research speed by 5%, even if it hurts our stability, and that is just incredibly valuable to get in the beginning of the game, and we're going to stack these effects. With mechanical engineering done, that means naturally the next step over here that we are going to do is mechanical computing. We want to get that research up as soon as possible. Industry-wise, we will be concentrating because we only will be producing a couple things over the course of the entire game, so that's all it is that we will really need. But with National Housing Act done, that means we can finally switch over to the next part of our plan: Army modernization and then the CMP trucks. With refuge being given to both German and Italian scientists, that means if you go over to our research now, as Canada, we have a plus whopping 20% to our research speed, which as a base is amazing, and that is only going to stack as we stay inside of the faction with the Allies and get even more bonus research points for everything else. And with that, it means that we can finally launch the first step of our crucial plan, going over here and trying to research trucks as soon as possible. We're going to have that in 158 days, which is nice, and we are going to need to get that rapidly. At the same time that is being done, we also have 100 army experience, which we will be using to expand our officer corps. Specifically, the thing that we will be doing is choosing our own sub-doctrine that is going to benefit us the most. If you've seen my previous video that I've done here on Canadian Moose Divisions, you may understand as to what it is that I'm perhaps proposing here and why it may be incredibly, stupidly powerfully broken, considering what it is that we've done before. The Moose Divisions are going to wreck everything. For those of you that may be uninitiated, what is a Moose Division, you may wonder? Well, that, my friends, is mechanized. And if you go and look what mobile infantry offers to us here, yes, mounted infantry get 20% breakthrough, which overall is pretty awesome, but infantry, motorized and mechanized, both get 20 additional organization and 25 additional speed, which is ludicrous, but on top of that, more recovery, more soft attack, and even more organization after completing it. Yes, this is what we are going to want. With an additional 150 political power now available, we will be switching over from export focus to free trade, because Canada basically has nothing in the way of resources, at least in the beginning of the game, so it doesn't matter if we give everything away. Instead, people will like us more, we get more construction, more research, more everything, and that is the more crucial thing for us. I can also go ahead and buy one steel from the United Kingdom, which I will do, and that will probably be the thing that will help boost them along. The important thing, though, is that we have CMP truck researched, and from there, we can start to develop our overall forces. We will be doing the Canadian Pacific Railway in order to boost our infrastructure, and we will also do the Maritime Colonial Railway so that we can get more railway and more civilian factories. These things will be crucial, but we largely will be focusing on constructing more military factories in order to be able to fulfill our military quota that we are going to need here. The reason for that being is that here we are on December 18th, 1936, and we have research trucks. The reason why this is so incredibly crucial is because, again, if you've seen my previous videos, with that CMP bonus that we have, if you go over here to our infantry, the Priest Kangaroo, we get a 2-year bonus plus the 200% research, which means we can research 1940 mechanized in, drumroll please, 168 days now. Meaning, by the middle of 1937, we will be 2.5 years ahead of tech. You can see how this is incredibly broken when it comes to multiplayer, because you can then lease this design to other entities. Yes, this is indeed very broken, but it's going to be even more broken with what has happened with the latest DLC. The important thing in order to be able to fulfill these production goals, though, is that with those additional military factories, we need to start producing some trucks. So yes, we are going to start producing that. We're going to need to have a little bit of basically every kind of equipment. So it is, my friends, that by June of 1937, we actually have the ability to produce mechanized vehicles, which is amazing. But there is a thing that you have to make sure that you did before this, and I should have already stressed this. As 1937 is rolling around, it is imperative that you do strengthen the Commonwealth ties and then also shadow factories. The reason being is because if you do not do this early enough when world tension initially spikes, world tension will drop below 5%, meaning you will miss out on the ability to get 3 free military factories, which is crucial because at this point, you are going to be needing to use them in order to actually produce things. But what is it that we're going to be producing? Well, as I said before, that is going to be mechanized, but that is the entire reason as well that we've been saving up our army experience. Because theoretically, I could go over here to my officer corps, and yeah, I could unlock other things for doctrine, which we are going to be doing. But right now, from the beginning, it is far more important that we use the hard-earned saved army experience that we have to go ahead and develop our vehicles more, which we can go over here, create a variant, and we are going to do things like investing 5 points worth, 100 army experience, but we are going to cut the production cost of these mechanized units in half. We are going to drop that down to 4, which is the exact same cost as basic artillery. Now, 60% reliability is not exactly great, so maybe putting an additional 2 points in there, which is 125 army experience, might be worth it, just to bring up that reliability above 70%. At that point, I am honestly fine with it costing 4.8. You could go lower if it is that you desire, but I think this is an overall better option in my opinion. At this point, we will be lacking basically any kind of resources whatsoever, so yes, it does kind of suck, but it is fine. We can go ahead and get that boosted up later. The important thing was that we start producing this military equipment as soon as we can, so rather than this mill factory, I will perhaps need to start focus on building up some civilian factories as well as infrastructure for resources. And with the Anschluss of Austria, things are finally heating up here. It is still going to take some time, but overall we have been producing quite a large amount of equipment, which is good because we can start theoretically at this point building out a unit that we are going to need. First off, this motorized division, this isn't really going to do anything for us. There's no point in utilizing it. We might as well create a fresh division that we can use. In which case, our Moose Battalion is going to consist of several things. Mechanized infantry, of course. But we're going to need things that are capable of actually fighting against the enemy, not just holding it as a kind of meat shield. Don't get me wrong, these units make great meat shields, yes, but 2 units of motorized artillery to go with it? Now that just sounds absolutely amazing. We do not even need to recruit more men. No, instead we can just take our cavalry that have been training here the entire time and convert those. Actually, I do not have enough equipment for that. Okay, no, we're going to take 3 of them and convert those. The reason that we have done that is that as soon as we have an additional 100 army experience, we're going to go over here to our officer corps and we are going to expand our land doctrine even further. The big thing that we need here next is artillery and combat support. The reason that we're choosing this is because we can get flying batteries. Flying batteries means that our motorized artillery is going to get an additional 20 organization eventually. It's going to get even more bonuses. And that is exactly what we want. You may be thinking, okay, well, why not go with mobile recon and assault? Because technically speaking, you could go ahead and do this. But really, motorized artillery is only going to get a 5% breakthrough if you do this. It's more so designed for if you're trying to do things to support your tanks. Since we are going mechanized, getting an additional 20 organization is huge. Plus, I mean, it's line artillery. I mean, it should be able to get a 10% soft attack bonus, I think. And if that doesn't apply, 20 organization is still massive. And so, as late October of 1938 rolls around, we have done pretty much everything it is that we would possibly really need. We could go ahead and do the Newfoundland Act at this point before it is that we try to get additional bonuses for our forces, because really, again, we have done almost everything that we need prior to the start of actual war breaking out. The Newfoundland Act should hopefully give us Newfoundland, which, if they do agree to that, it means we get a little bit more in the way of population. It's barely anything, but honestly, it's at least something. Because, oh lord, I get a plus 39% bonus to research now as a base, which is just absolutely insane. Go ahead and slap on a motorized anti-tank so that we can go ahead and get ourselves some heart attack, and this is probably going to be the most valuable thing that we are going to be able to produce. Because with the next 100 army experience that we have here now, May 1939, we can unlock the next thing that we are going for here, which armor or operations, I guess either one, it doesn't necessarily matter. I'll go ahead and spoil what it is we're going to be doing. Armor, we are going to be getting armored cavalry because, again, the bonuses that we're going to be getting to our motorized forces. Mechanized infantry immediately plus 5% defense and 5% organization. Awesome. But as we upgrade this, that is going to get faster recovery, more breakthrough, more soft attack, more organization, and more speed, along with bonuses for our motorized infantry. Operations-wise, we are going to go with rapid domination because all our infantry is going to get 10% soft attack, faster reinforcement rate, better line attack in the first place for our artillery, plus overall bonuses for our army, all the infantry and motorized and mechanized, more soft attack and more hard attack. We are just stacking bonuses on bonuses on bonuses. The Moose Division is so broken. Which actually, to that end, you know what? We're going to do rapid domination first. We're going to get that. That describes the Canadian outlook entirely. Oh, wait, I did realize it is June of 1939. I need to get over to the front as soon as possible, actually. Quickly move our forces that we are building up over here to separate. And as August of 1939 rolls around, everything goes to crap, naturally. But we can't really do anything over on that side right now. It sucks, it really does, but unfortunately, there is actually nothing that we are able to do. No, Poland is going to get conquered, the Soviets are going to invade Finland, and France is going to get screwed over here in rapid order. Yeah, just as in our own timeline, all of this is going to go to absolute crap. But you know what? It's all right, because we now have an additional 100 army experience, which means we can finally unlock the last stage of our officer corps, which is going to be the armor. And for that, we're going to be getting armored cavalry, as I already said. Plus 5 organization and plus 5 defense for our mechanized units from the very get-go is really good, especially considering that with the other issues that we've had, our overall organization from all these bonuses did kind of drop, but don't worry, this is going to be way higher soon the more that we fight. To that end, we are going to need to be launching a motorized army, which I don't know why the motorized army is not what gives the 200% bonus, because you would think the truck actually should have been like, okay, the truck should have given us a 100% bonus, and you get more as you focus on motorizing the army. But no, this will give us a 100% research bonus, which once we have that, we can go ahead and start researching the next thing that we're going to need for trucks or for our mechanized, but for now, that's not really a factor. And there goes Italy joining the war. Now for our, grand developments, you should say. That failed, huh? Amazing. I wonder what we could do. Go figure. The entire Italian army is trapped. Oh my god, look at these. Look at these Moose divisions in here. Yes, we're going to be suffering from supply, terrain, etc. Yes, it's going to happen, but it won't really matter here. Yes, the fall of Paris sucks, I know. It does not really matter here, though. Because we've already inflicted massive damage on the aggressors, alright? That gave us 50 army experience. Sweet. Alright, quick. Try to trap them. We don't want them to leave Tobruk. We want to go ahead and capture them here. And boom, there we go. Just like that, April of 1940, they have failed miserably. I want the Italians to come down here because the Moose divisions have already managed to wipe out 92,000 of their forces. Utterly insane. Truly insane. Next step, we just break through the middle here, and oh, whoa, we are moving so fast that we actually just overran them. Oh my god, this is so broken. Yep, that is all the Italian forces wiped out, and now we can just go ahead and try and move over here and take Benghazi as quick as we can. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to break all the way through the desert here because they will be able to reinforce and we will not have anything in the way of supply. But yes, while it is that this definitely will hurt, at least in the beginning, we will be able to spend our time building up some dockyards to be able to move forward faster. But very quickly, that is not going to be a problem. We literally are wiping out their entire back line just like that. Oh my god, we are outpacing all of them. We deleting, absolutely deleting all of the divisions in front of us. Yeah, the German divisions can throw themselves at me all they want. It's not really going to make all that much of a difference. Because with that, we have seized Tripoli, and we are able to then rapidly move down. August of 1940, heading into September of 1940, and we have already cleared the entirety of Africa. Moose divisions reign supreme. Well, I say the entirety. The Italians are still putting up a little bit of resistance down here, but that's not something that we have to really worry about. It'll be over in rapid order. All right, go ahead here, push through the desert, and this is exactly the territory that I want now. Yep, just rapidly move on through, cut off the Italian forces, and in surrounding them, that means that we can now choke them off and destroy them. Yep, oh my god, we move so freaking fast. All right, there we go, October, this is moving along quite nicely. And in rapid order, we will be able to crush through them like this. And boom, that is the entirety of the Italian forces driven out of Africa. October of 1940. That is it. Oh dear freaking god, the moose. But the meese can't be stopped. With that, the war is basically done from this side. There isn't anything else that we, technically speaking, really need to do. Yes, we could we can't really do anything against Japan over on the side. They're not even part of the conflict. Greece hasn't been invaded yet, so we can't really do anything there. We can only bide our time and build up our military forces even more, which, honestly, overall solid thing. Yeah, we can go ahead and do that. And that is going to become more relevant because Yugoslavia just got declared on. Okay, we are going to need to figure that out here soon. Oh, there goes the Kingdom of Greece joining the Allies. Hold up. That is happening here now. That means I can go over here and throw myself into the defensive line at Thessaloniki. Now, does that actually mean anything? Yeah, probably not, but we will see. All right, there we go. Hold the line. Yes, hold the line. Oh, dear freaking god, this is going to hurt. There we go. Okay, just withdraw back, form a defensive center line. We're going to need that as much as possible. Otherwise, we're going to take horrible losses. And we will need a strong naval base here. And there we go. Okay. No. We got to hold this. Just hold this one single territory. Dear God. All right. Even with my insanely strong units, I am still getting pushed out. But you know what? It's fine. We can hold. We can hold as much as we possibly can. Let the enemy throw themselves at me. I simply do not care. Because now we have the next upgraded kangaroo, the Ram Kangaroo. We go ahead and get that created, get rid of the basic one that we don't need anymore, and yeah, it's only going to cost us like 6 in order to be able to make one. So, you know what? That's exactly what we need. Absolutely beautiful. If we are just able to hold this line against them the entire time, like really, I don't care about anything else. Let the Italians, let the Germans, let all of them throw their forces into it as much as they can. They're just going to be wasting huge amounts of manpower. Oh, lo and behold, the Germans have declared war on the Soviets. Surely that won't backfire on them. No, instead we just get to hold out here in Greece. Yeah, the Germans basically won't be able to stop me here at this point because their forces are going to be way too spread out, which means we will be able to just push as much as we will. Now, if only we can just continuously surround their forces as much as possible, then we will be able to gradually begin to cut them off and exterminate vast numbers of them, because you can't stop the Moose Division. At the same time, we're contributing so much to the war effort, we can go ahead and make ourselves free. We don't need to wait till after the war. We're just it, baby. Oh god, yeah, they're redeploying massive amounts of forces over here. Okay, all right. Hold on. This may have been a slight mistake. But with Japan finally entering the conflict, that means that we have the United States, but oh, lo and behold, it's 1941 and we're invading Italy. Why? Because the Italians are so busy focused here on Greece that they can't balance the war. Oh my god, are they being driven out of Italy? They are partially being driven out of Italy. Okay, all right. We just need to try and distract their men as much as possible over here, and hopefully our boys will be able to hold out. All right, come on. If we can just surround a whole bunch of their forces over here, we will be fine. Just push through, please. I just need to break through this one single spot. 428 attack, 190 breakthrough, and then 877 defense. Which, yes, it's being countered a bit by the enemy air superiority, but we're doing fantastic. Damn, y'all just really want to keep on throwing your lives away at me. I mean, feel free to do so. I just don't know what the point is. British, how could you fail an invasion of Italy? Really? I held Greece, and this is what you do. Amazing. Okay, there we go. Finally, you ended up trapping a bunch of stuff in Sicily. All right, well, maybe now we could actually go and do something. There we go. There's a whole bunch of troops trapped, and now we just need to go ahead and wipe them out. Oh my god, you idiots. You British idiots. Why would you invade that? Okay, see, at the very least, the Canadians were there to help, because otherwise, you idiots, oh my god. Oh my lord, you're telling me that this entire time they never actually managed to take out Syria or Iraq? This entire freaking time? And I have been holding off the Axis the entire time? What? There we go, push through into Corfu. And there we go, there's the northern part taken. We're slowly retaking back Greece. I swear to God, if I could actually trust Greece to someone else, I would go over here and knock out Italy right now, but I can't. I physically cannot trust the AI to actually hold the line and not fail me. But it doesn't matter because the moose units can just keep on pushing here through the Balkans. Oh my God, it's 1942. Okay, I was wondering what the hell was going on. The British are stuck over here in the Middle East for some reason because Iraq and Syria are holding them back. The Italians are slowly following, but the more important thing is that the Soviet Union is somehow almost outside the gates of Berlin in 1942. And it's all because of the Moose divisions. Oh my freaking God, are you serious? I have destroyed everything over here and I still can't win because numbers wise, they're so focused on freaking Rome. Holy crap, you lost. Are you serious? Am I the only one that is capable of fighting right now? Even with the Moose divisions, this is ridiculous. You know, Greece, you're genuinely not even worth saving. This is actually stupid. So long, Greece, and thanks for literally nothing. You're about to collapse in the span of like a few weeks. See how easy that is? We just literally blitz through all of them. That simple. Like, holy crap, UK, was it that freaking hard? Yeah, Mussolini gets deposed. That is now done. And just like that, the Canadians are hitting northern Italy. Yep, there it is. Fractures into civil war. We finally have all that fixed. Beautiful. Yep, with the collapse of Italy, we have an invasion of France, which, oh dear God, that is in rapid order. And this, somehow, the Germans were able to hold back the Soviets the entire length of this, but it's not going to last. Oh, that is the collapse of Vichy France. Oh my God, 1943. We are rapidly moving through this. This is simply too brutal. Oh my God. With that, we had the liberation of Paris, June 1943, a full year ahead of schedule. Oh my God, the Moose divisions cannot be stopped. Now we sweep here through northern France, and with that, pretty much the entirety of the country is reclaimed. What are we at in terms of kills? Canada's responsible for 366,000. Okay, well, it's actually probably significantly more. And that's the entirety of the rest of the German army caught off. There we go. That is the destruction of that army, and we are now biting deep into Germany. Oh dear God. The fact that the Soviets have not managed to push in is simply astounding to me. It is just way too easy. We're just sweeping through the remaining bits of this. There's nothing that can stop us now. We've broken through their entire army. There's nothing left. August of 1943, a full 2 years ahead of schedule here. With the fall of Budapest, that means the war is over just like that. I still managed to get 419 points. I still got this, which means, naturally speaking, Canada is going to earn some really good things. Key sources of rubber, taken. A nice healthy working age population along with some African resources, and don't mind if I do. With that, I think we have, I think we've done everything it is that we need. The great Canadian colonies of Africa now exist. Lovely stuff. August of 1943, the war is already over. Canadian Moose divisions reign supreme. This is truly absolutely broken. And here's one of the things that I want to stress that I didn't really get to show over the course of this. If you look at our divisions, they're not inherently necessarily all that amazing. We didn't add any additional stuff. Yes, we kept the field hospital on here. We had recon, we had support logistics companies, we had engineers. But really, this is the basic thing that we were working with over the course of the entire game. We could have made these 40 widths, we could have, but keeping a greater number of units just proved to be so much more effective. And then on top of that, these things were going at 10.2 in terms of speed, which is amazing. And if you go and look at our officer corps and everything that we have done here right now, we have only mastered one of these things, the artillery and combat support, which means that going here all the way to the end, we got additional organization, we got more breakthrough, we got more, well, that doesn't apply for the supply usage, but all of this kept our organization extremely high. If I had fought for just a little bit more or I'd been smarter, like as an example, you can go over here and you can, well, I mean, no one's at war right now, but you can send an attaché, which actually gets you mastery, which I should have done from the very beginning of the game, and I absolutely did not. Stupid of me. I would have likely completed my infantry bonus here too, and then got the final bit, which is 10% organization and 20% additional speed, meaning my units would have been overrunning literally everything. Rapid Domination was also doing pretty good, and we didn't get to the third level here, but Signal Company, that would have helped. I honestly probably should have gotten a Signal Company to go with my stuff. More Support Company bonuses, and in general, greater army bonuses and mech bonuses. The sheer amount of things that you can do now is insane. The only thing we didn't get is Armored Cavalry, because go figure, I didn't build any armor over the course of the game, even though this would have provided me some bonuses. Either way, my friends, that is going to be the end of things here today. This just shows you how incredibly broken Canada is with the latest DLC and the ability to produce mechanized units that rapidly. The amount of bonuses that you can get for this without having to go down mobile warfare or anything is insane. This is something that is going to completely break the balance of how things work in multiplayer, and I cannot wait to see how things develop, because the amount of things that you can specialize in are wild, and trust me when I say, there are more videos coming with more ideas of things that we're going to be exploring. If you have any suggestions of things that you would like to see, let me know down in the comment section below. But yeah, this is this is pretty insane. Anyway, I'll see you all here next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, my friends.